Okay, so for this video, we will be talking about the national uh, income and economic welfare. So by the way, please do not be mistaken or misled with the word analysis in our title, because in this discussion, we will not be analyzing actually the national income of our country, but uh, you students are just required to have a minimum understanding of the concept of this term. Okay, so it's just so happened that in our module, in our syllabus, so the title includes the word analysis. But again, please take note that we will not have any analysis of the national income in this discussion. Okay, so to have a short overview of this module or this video, so this is more about the national income and the economic welfare. So you students are required, are is expected to learn about the basic concepts of these terms, and as well as how to measure the national income. And you will also be learning about the relationship between the national income and economic welfare. Okay. So for the learning outcomes, so if you could notice in the statements, so you're just required to have a minimum understanding of these terms and concepts. Okay, so first, we will define what national income is. Okay, so we have here a several definition of the term so that you will be able to understand better. Okay, when we say national income, first of all, this refers to the value of the goods and services that is being produced by a country. Normally, this is measured and reported during a financial year. So when we say financial year, most commonly, we are using yearly or for a period of 1 year. Okay, so thus it is the net result of all the economic activities of any country during a period of 1 year, and this is also valued in terms of money. So again, based on this definition, when we say national income, this is the value in terms of money of the goods and services that is being produced by a certain country for a period of 1 year. So all of this production process and valuation, even the earning of the national income, is what we refer to as the economic activities of the country. Okay, so this is for the first definition of the term. Okay, so we also have the next uh, definition. So in this case, when we say national income, this refers to the labor and capital of the country that is being uh, employed in its natural resources to produce goods and services annually. Okay, their produce may be in the form of commodities, material, or even immaterial output, such as services of all kind. Okay, so this is considered to be the true net annual income or revenue of the country, or this is also termed as the national dividend. So again, in this definition, it highlights the input of the production of the goods and services. So in this case, normally, depending on the country, okay, what are the abundant resources that is present, okay, in their locality or geographical location. So in this case, there are some who's uh, abundant with natural resources. Other countries um, have more labor. Others have more technology and industry. Okay, so depending on what uh, be is abundant in a particular country, Okay, that is what they are actually using to produce output for their goods and services. Okay, so again, this definition is somewhat the same with that of the first definition that we have mentioned earlier. Okay, but this time they highlighted the input, okay, in producing for the goods and services of a certain country. Okay, so the next definition is when we say national income, this is known as the net output of commodities and services that flows during the year from the country's productive system in the hands of the ultimate consumers. So basically, this definition is just the continuation of the first two. Okay, because if you could notice here, the output that is being produced by a certain country in the form of goods or services, these are being utilized and used by the consumers or their citizen, or they can even sell that in other countries as well. Okay, so basically, all of these three definitions are connected and just saying the same concept or idea about national income. Okay, so therefore, if we are going to define national income based on the three definitions, we can say that this is the output of or the productive output of a particular country that is in the form of goods or services, okay, and is being measured in terms of money for a period of 1 year. Okay, so that is what we mean by national income. Okay, so other economists normally they associate national income with two terms which we normally uh, encounter in economics. So we have GDP and GNP, or the gross domestic product and the gross national product. Okay, so when we say domestic product or GDP, so this is the value of a nation's finished domestic goods and services during a period of or during a specific period. Again, gross domestic product is this is the value of the nation's finished domestic goods and services during a specific time period. So meaning to say, we are focusing here on what is being locally produced by a certain country. Okay, so this is what we mean by the gross domestic product. So here, in another term, this is the total value of goods produced as well as the services rendered within a country, okay, during a year. So this is calculated based on the prevailing market price of the goods and services. Okay, so normally when we measure or consider GDP, we will include these different constituents. Okay, so we will include the salaries and wages of the laborers, okay, the rent, interest, undistributed profit, mixed income, direct taxes, dividend, as well as depreciation. But you have to take note that all of these constituents should be related to the local or domestic goods and services that is being produced by a certain country. Okay, so this is normally associated also with national income. Okay, so others normally measure national income using GDP. Okay, so the next term is the GNP or gross national product. So when we say gross national product, this is actually related with gross domestic product. However, in this case, when we say GNP, this is the value of all finished goods and services that is owned by a country's residents over a period of time. Okay. So again, this is the value of all the finished goods and services owned by a country's residents over a period of time. Okay, so here, to calculate the GNP, so you should collect and assess the data from all the productive activities. This will include our agricultural produce, wood, minerals, commodities, contributions to production by the transport, communications, insurance companies, even the professionals. Okay? And again, this is also based on the market prices. Okay, just like your GDP. So here, when we measure the GNP, so we will include net income arising also in a country from abroad, provided this uh, income are related or is owned by the resident of the country, okay, in which we are referring to, okay, when we say their gross national product. So, unlike the gross domestic product, we only include those that are within, okay, the country, whereas the GNP considers net income that arises in a foreign country, provided they should be owned by the residents of the local country that we are talking about. So here, GNP has four main constituents. So it includes the consumer goods and services, gross private domestic income, goods produced and services or services rendered, as well as income arising from abroad. So again, just like your GDP, GNP also is used, okay, as a basis or measurement, okay, of the national income. Okay, so this is all for the introduction about the concept.